Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's John from The Cog is Dead, and I wanted to make this video because as of today, it has now been 1 full year since we moved into this house and had to completely relocate the studio into a new space. First of all, I want to thank anybody that helped us move. Everybody that donated and helped us with moving expenses, thank you guys so much, as well as my patrons on Patreon. Thank all of you for everything you've done. Thank you guys so much. So when we first moved into this house, obviously I did not have the money or the time to properly set up the studio. I just needed to get stuff set up. I had to be able to jump right back into work. I built a really makeshift booth at first. I went out to Lowe's and I got some PVC pipes and some moving blankets. It basically made a very makeshift vocal isolation booth. I will say it worked amazingly well. The acoustics in here were fantastic, but it didn't look very nice. It was basically like a blanket fort. So for the first 9 months I was working out of that, and finally around July I realized, okay, I think I've saved up enough and I've gotten enough donations through Patreon that I can finally construct a nice workstation space and vocal isolation area. After going out, getting the supplies, getting a bunch of new acoustic foam, bass traps, and all these things, I'm so excited that finally we've got this brand new, really nice studio booth. All right, well, here it is. Welcome to the newly renovated and better than ever official recording and mixing station and vocal isolation booth for The Cog is Dead, Timeship Records. Honestly, it's almost hard for me to express just how excited I am to finally have a professional home studio set up to the exact specifications that have been needed for so long. I know at first glance it looks really similar to the studio that we had at the old house, but when you start examining it, there are a lot of really crucial differences that help the sound quality in this room and just production workflow and efficiency and all that. So first of all, the biggest difference is in the old house, I was set up in a closet that was probably about 6 feet wide and maybe 3 feet deep at most. And I basically kind of spilled out into the room from there, and we set up equipment and stuff to record. But it was a very small space. For this studio, I actually built a sound booth for the first time ever. My wife and I went out and we got some plywood and fiberboard sheathing and other materials, and we constructed a custom booth that would work as a vocal isolation booth for voiceover, for music recording. The fiberboard is nice and dense. It helps to keep outside noises out. And we actually doubled it up. All the windows also have 2 layers of fiberboard on them as well, because when we first moved into this house, I could hear everything. I could literally be sitting here and I could hear neighbors across the street having a conversation. So that was the first thing I did. Was I got the boards, I put them over the windows to help block out sound. That made a tremendous difference. Then when we were finally able to build this booth, the whole thing was made out of that fiberboard and plywood as well. So there's very little noise at all coming in from outside. Also, like I mentioned, the previous workstation was in a closet that was only about 6 feet by 3 feet. This booth is actually 8 feet wide on the inside and 6 feet deep, plus it opens up into the room, giving probably a good 9 feet out that way. So there's plenty of space to keep guitars and other instruments at arm's reach. So when I'm writing or if I'm recording or whatever's going on, everything is kind of all centered around the chair. It's just really efficient, you know? It helps maximize workflow and productivity, and it's an ideal work environment for writing and recording music. Another really nice thing about this studio is the way it's organized, because maybe it's just because I'm a creatively minded person, but as my wife will attest, I am not a very organized person. I kind of work, you know, stream of conscious. As soon as I'm inspired, I run in here and I want to work on something. I usually grab something and then just kind of leave stuff out where it is. So it's easy to clean up, and it's also easy to put things away because everything has a place. You know, right over here, there's the interface. Over here, I've got my guitar amp. Over there in the corner, there's the guitar stand. And right on the other side of this booth wall, I've got shelves and storage. Also, something I really love about this room is there's a closet right here next to the booth, and it's the perfect place to put the studio computer. So I put the computer in there and ran the cables out to the workstation, and that way I can close the door and reduce the noise of the computer because the fans and and everything make noise, and that way this room can stay as quiet as possible. I mean, really, what else can I say? I'm just so extremely happy with the way the studio turned out. Really, this is better than I imagined. It's honestly the best recording space we have ever had. So thank you once again to everyone who helped us to get to this point. If you would like to show continued support on Patreon, feel free to go to patreon.com/JohnSprocket. For as little as $1 a month, you can help basically just keep this going. The money all goes into helping with the cost of rent and electricity to keep the studio going. It also helps with much needed upgrades like everything you see here, the booth and anything. So it's ongoing support to help keep more music going. And as of now, more music that's out there has been recorded in this room, and I'm really excited to see what else gets recorded in here that we can share with you guys in the future. So anyway, thanks again so much, and until next time, cheers.